Jesus Christ demonstrated kingdom purpose in relationship. John chapter 6:38, as I read from the New International Version, says this: "For I have come down from heaven not to do my will, but to do the will of him who sent me." Amen. Jesus was in relationship with the Father, and the focus of Jesus while here on earth was to do the will of the Father, a statement of purpose. Amen. Meaning that at every given time you find Jesus, he was going about the will of his Father. That should be our story. Our purpose should be to do only the will of the Father, not otherwise. And by so doing, we will be great examples in our relationships for others to emulate. Amen. Now we have a case of Paul, the case of Timothy, and Titus. A few great examples of individuals in the Bible who demonstrated kingdom purpose in relationship. As we know, Paul was a mentor to Titus and Timothy, and writing to them, Paul emphasized the importance of kingdom purpose in relationship. 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 11, as I read from the New Living Translation, this is Paul writing to Timothy and talking about himself. He says this: "And God chose me to be a preacher, an apostle, and a teacher of this good news." Amen. Now 2 Timothy 4 verse 5. I read from the New King James Version. This is Paul writing to Timothy, saying, "But you, be watchful in all things, endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist, fulfill your ministry." Amen. Now Paul writing to Titus in Titus 1 verse 5, as I read from the New King James Version, says this: "For this reason I left you in Crete, that you should set in order the things that are lacking and appoint elders in every city, as I commanded you." Amen. Now, Paul demonstrated kingdom purpose in relationship as he wrote to his mentees, Timothy and Titus, by emphasizing what they ought to be doing for the kingdom. But he began this by telling them who he is when it comes to his work in the kingdom, by saying this: God chose him to be a preacher, an apostle, and a teacher. Amen. Now, Paul, Timothy, and Titus functioned in many offices. The goal of these verses is to help us see how kingdom purpose was emphasized in their relationship. As Paul functioned in his purpose in the kingdom, he encouraged Timothy and Titus to do likewise. So my encouragement to you is this: let's encourage each other to function in the areas of calling, so that we can fulfill kingdom purpose in our relationships and in our relationship with the Father. Amen.